You're not bad with money. You're being manipulated. What if everything you believed about your money problems was completely wrong? You've told yourself the story 100 times. I'm just bad with money. I have no discipline. I can't help myself. But here's the truth. Nobody is saying out loud, you were never the problem. You are living within the most sophisticated manipulation system ever created in human history. This system was designed by the smartest people on the planet, funded with a budget of billions of dollars, and fine-tuned specifically to make you spend money you hadn't planned to spend on things you don't actually need. And the scariest part? The more intelligent you are, the harder you fall for it. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and smash the bell right now because what you're about to see will permanently change the way you look at your wallet, your screen, and your future. Let's expose this thing. Part 1. The manipulation was built before you were born. This isn't an accident. It was engineered. Let's start with something that will make you genuinely angry. Every app on your phone, Instagram, TikTok, Amazon, YouTube, has been developed using a field known as persuasive technology. This is a genuine academic discipline developed at Stanford University and specifically designed to influence human behavior on a large scale by applying psychological principles. The founder of this field, B.J. Fogg, developed a framework literally called the Fogg Behavior Model. It is a step-by-step system designed to get people to do things they wouldn't normally do on their own. And Silicon Valley didn't use it to make you exercise more or drink more water. They used it to make you spend more money. Here's a real example that will blow your mind. Amazon's famous one-click purchase button wasn't a convenience feature. It was a psychological weapon. Before it existed, the natural pause between wanting something and buying it, entering your card details, your address, confirming the order, gave your rational brain time to ask, do I actually need this? The one-click button surgically removed that pause. Amazon patented it and made billions. You lost yours. Studies show that removing purchase friction increases impulse buying by up to 44%. That's not a side effect of good design. That was the design. Part 2. Your brain has been hacked. The neuroscience they don't want you to know. Here's where it gets really uncomfortable. Your brain functions using a chemical called dopamine, your built-in reward signal. Whenever something good happens or seems likely to happen, dopamine is released. This is what enabled your ancestors to search for food, take risks, and survive. But here's the exploit. While your brain is waiting for the reward, it releases more dopamine than it does when the reward actually arrives. The scroll before the post loads? Dopamine spike. The notification bubble on the app? Dopamine spike. The loading bar on your online shopping cart? Dopamine spike. Technology companies have spent billions of dollars trying to figure this out, and then designed every user interface interaction to trigger this as many times as possible per session. And here's the brutal proof. In a 2023 study conducted by MIT, 2 groups were shown an identical product advertisement. One group saw the ad after spending 20 minutes browsing social media. The other group saw the ad directly, without spending any time on a screen. The scrolling group was 34% more likely to buy impulsively, and they rated themselves as more confident in their decision. They felt smarter while making a worse choice. That's not weakness. That's not poor discipline. That's a neurological system being deliberately exploited by people with PhDs and unlimited computing power. Part 3. The hidden price tags. Nobody shows you? The $1 app that's actually costing you $1,000. Let's talk about real numbers, because this is where the manipulation becomes undeniable. Food delivery apps, the average delivery order costs 47% more than cooking the equivalent meal at home once you add platform fees, delivery charges, and tips. The average frequent user orders 3 to 4 times a week. That's $3,000 to $4,500 per year, spent not because you were hungry, but because an app made ordering food require less effort than opening your fridge. Buy now, pay later apps like Klarna and Afterpay, these are masterclasses in psychological manipulation. By splitting a $200 purchase into 4 $50 payments, they exploit what behavioral economists call the pain of paying. Thus, spending money actually activates your brain's pain centers. Smaller numbers trigger less pain, so you feel less, spend more, and do it more often. Users of these apps spend up to 45% more per transaction than people paying in full. The purchase feels cheaper. Your bank account knows the truth. and social media shopping. A 2024 survey of 2,500 millennials found that 68% made at least one major purchase in the past year they directly attributed to seeing it on social media. Average purchase value, $847, and 41% financed it with debt. Add it all up, and the average person is losing $4,000 to $6,000 per year to manipulation-driven spending. Invested consistently over 20 years, that's $150,000 to $250,000 that should have been yours. Part 4, the comparison trap, was set specifically for you. Your feed was engineered to make you feel poor. Here. EC hem particularity, layer that makes everything worse. For most of human history, your brain compared itself to roughly 150 people, your village, your community, your tribe. That was the natural human comparison group. Now, your brain is trying to measure itself against millions of curated highlight reels, the most beautiful moments, the most expensive vacations, the newest cars, the most glamorous meals, from millions of strangers served to you by an algorithm specifically designed to make you feel the gap between where you are and where you could be. And here's the dark truth that the platforms will never admit. That feeling of inadequacy is the product. Because an inadequate person clicks ads, a satisfied person doesn't. Research shows that people prefer to earn $50,000 in a scenario where everyone earns $25,000, rather than earning $100,000 in a scenario where everyone earns $200,000. Your brain cares more about relative status than absolute wealth. Social media weaponizes this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And your bank account pays the price. Part 5, here's how you take your power back. The exact system to fight back. Now, the good news. Because once you see the manipulation, you can build walls against it. Here's exactly what works. Strategy 1. The 72-hour rule. Never buy anything you discovered on social media within 72 hours of seeing it. Not 24, not 48, 72 hours. Dopamine-driven desire peaks within 6-12 hours and subsides completely by the 72-hour mark. If you still want it 3 days later, it's probably worth buying. If you forgot about it, and you usually will, your rational brain just saved you money. Strategy 2. Unfollow to outperform. Audit your social follows ruthlessly. Unfollow every account that consistently makes you feel like you need to spend money to be happy, successful, or attractive. Replace them with accounts that celebrate financial independence, minimalism, and investing. You're not curating content, you are reprogramming your comparison reference point. Strategy 3. The phone-free financial buffer. No phone for the first 30 minutes after waking up and the last 30 minutes before bed. These are the 2 periods when you're most emotionally vulnerable, and the platforms are well aware of this. Protecting yourself during these periods will reduce impulse spending much more effectively than any budgeting app could. Strategy 4. Turn prices into time. Change how you mentally process prices. Before any non-essential purchase, ask, how many hours of my life does this cost? A $180 dinner, 6 hours of work. A $1,200 phone, 2 full weeks of your life. When your brain sees time instead of money, the true cost becomes real and the manipulation loses its grip. Strategy 5. Automate the escape. Set up an automatic transfer of at least 20% of every paycheck to an account with no debit card, no app access, and a 2-business-day withdrawal delay. Make good financial decisions the default, not something that requires willpower to choose every single month. Remove your brain from the equation entirely, the close. Here's the bottom line. You were never bad with money. You were placed inside a billion-dollar manipulation machine designed by neuroscientists, behavioral economists, and persuasion engineers and given zero warning that it was happening. The people getting rich off your spending counted on you never figuring this out. But now, you know, and knowledge paired with the right systems is the only weapon that actually works. The wealthiest people of the next generation won't be the highest earners. They'll be the ones who protected their attention the fiercest. Today, pick one strategy from this video and implement it before you open social media again. If this hit different for you, drop a comment below to me. I read every single one. Like this video, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss next week, because we're going even deeper into why your salary will never make you rich and what actually will. See you there.